So what am I doing with those? What are my intentions? I am making myself a custom resin decal and glitter phone case that is Hunter slash Bad Batch slash Star Wars themed. We're gonna see how this goes.
Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name's Emily. If you're new here, hi, I'm the Bronze Wolf. That was an Instagram reel I made back in January of this year, and it is now the end of April and I'm just now getting around to it. To be fair on myself, I did move across states since then and quit a toxic job. So I have reasons for not having done something like this sooner. Today I'm going to be showing you my first dabble into resin, specifically making a Star Wars Bad Batch Hunter inspired phone case. If you follow me over on Instagram, or even if you've been on my YouTube channel for a little bit, I like Star Wars. I really like the Clone Wars and Rebels era and have really gotten even more into it with the premiere of the Bad Batch last year. Premiere of the Bad Batch series, I should specify, not they premiered with season 7 of Clone Wars. I was specifically really fallen head over heels for Hunter. He is my Star Wars husband. Judge me, do it, I dare you. I'm not the only one. Now, before this project came to mind specifically, I'd been wanting to delve into resin for a long time because it's cool, it's another art form, and it's very versatile. Also, side note, if you think these glasses are cute and you want a pair of your own, you should go check out my last video with my collab with Zilul.
Okay, so let's jump right into it. I prepped my work area with wax paper for easy cleanup. For this project, I used jewelry resin and wooden sticks to help move the resin around, and a choice of ink pigment as well as mica powder and add-ins like glitter, the phone case of course, and decals from Decal Nerd Design on Etsy as well as on Instagram. I started by prepping my workstation by getting gloves to protect my hands from the resin and laying down the wax paper and laying out all the things that I was going to use. Now the phone case did come in a little molded thing to it. I don't know how to describe it other than that. As you can see, I taped it down to keep it level and then taped off the camera hole to hopefully mitigate the chance of resin dripping in there. To prep the resin, I mixed to the directions, which was 1 part to 1 part. So 1 part resin to 1 part hardener, put them in separate cups and then poured them together and mixed it well with a, what is that called? Popsicle stick. Now this resin did have a 25-minute working time with a 12-hour cure time, so it was pretty easy to work with. I mixed a batch of blue using the ink pigment, and then I mixed a clear batch of resin and then put pearlescent mica powder into it, and I thought I would get a little funky and put red mica powder in the blue resin that I'd already mixed. But you'll see here in a second, it just made it a very vibrant red versus a bluish red, and it was really satisfying to mix all together. Time for the pour. I was very anxious for this because who knew whether it was gonna mix into one muddy color or if it was gonna overflow down the side of the phone case. Anyway, as you can see, the camera decided it wanted to focus on the reflection of the LED lights instead of what I was doing. So enjoy the very blurry pour, which is still very satisfying to watch. And I just kind of went at it and then just started mooshing things around as I had seen in videos. You'll see here in a second. Yep, there we go. I just saw that it was not in focus and it looks like mud, but it turned out better than it looks right now, I promise. But I just went around with the popsicle sticks and the little wooden sticks, the other wooden sticks, and just moved it around, got it to the edges, and it looked like this afterwards. This was layer 1 and it turned out so good, and I'm very proud of myself for this. I didn't fill in the top there with resin completely because I wanted to see what it would look like with the red of my phone coming through more into the design. Here I'm going through and sprinkling some golds, moons, and silver stars over this base layer. To give it some dimension, there is going to be a top coat that goes on to seal everything in and make it nice and smooth and level, but I really wanted that pop, something more to reflect off of the surface of it. I went around with a little wooden stick and just pushed the resin up around the camera part instead of trying to hand pour the resin around it. I did ask on my Instagram story which decal I should use because I wasn't sure at the time. An overwhelming majority of people chose Hunter. After that base layer cured, I carefully manipulated the decal off of the sheet and placed it in the desired location. I had to be very careful to make sure that it was as straight as possible because trying to get that thing back up was not going to be an easy task. There are 2 transparent layers on this decal because the way that Decal Nerd Design does his decals is, especially with these more intricate ones, is sometimes it takes multiple layers of print. So as you can see, I'm taking that first layer off, and then the skull part of Hunter's helmet is on a separate sheet. So I had to try and peel that up too, but it is so satisfying and it is so cool to see the different layers of intricacy with his decals. As you can see, the placement went pretty well and it looks awesome. The final step was the clear top coat. I started applying it in the top corner to level out that first layer of resin, and then I poured it all in the center and worked on smooshing it around again with a popsicle stick to cover the decal and the glitter completely. After every drying step, I was afraid that I would have mismixed the ratios of resin to hardener and it would come away all sticky and the whole thing would be for naught, but it turned out so good. Just being able to have this final project. My longtime Callus phone case from Captain Callus on Redbubble is now in retirement. One thing I was worried about with the rigid resin that I wasn't going to be able to get on my phone properly, ignore that crack, but it slid on really easily. It's still flexible in all the right places in order to easily get it onto the phone, and with the red, it looks so cool, and in the sun, it sparkled so much, and I love sparkly things, so that is such a plus for me. I was really worried it was going to look like mud, but it is so cool.
Now, I'm really glad I did a project like this because getting to personalize something so specific to myself is really cool, and being able to learn a new skill set and knowing that I can do something like this, like maybe I'll get into resin casting next. Maybe that's the next step. Maybe I'll open up phone case commissions for other Star Wars and Clone Stand fans. Well, thank you so much for sticking with me to the end of this video. If you liked it, give it a like. If you disliked it, give it a dislike. Comment your favorite Star Wars character and subscribe and hit that bell button so you know every time I post. You should also go ahead and follow me on Instagram and Twitch at @the_bronzewolf to keep up to date on all of my projects and my everyday life, as well as my weekly video game streams. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Bye!